That Defense of Marriage Act, which for federal law defined marriage as the union of one man, one woman only, denied all federal benefits to gay couples, that has been ruled unconstitutional.
Back in 2004, only 32% of the country supported gay marriage. Now that's up to 57%.
I've always been adamant that gay and lesbian Americans should be treated fairly and equally.
In November 2008, Connecticut passed a law legalizing gay marriage. I was in 7th grade. When I heard about the new law, my first question was, why wasn't gay marriage legal before? The answer I heard was that the idea of gay marriage wasn't accepted in our society. It was not traditional. It wasn't the social norm. How do social norms form? A major influence is religion.
For a long time, the Bible has been misused to support prejudice, apartheid, segregation, slavery, the second-class citizenship of women. Now it's being misused, to condemn gay people. It's an old trick. Fundamentalist Christians have been using it throughout the ages, and now they're doing it again.
God says in the Old and the New Testament that it's an abomination.
God calls it an abomination. It's an abomination. It's an abomination.
The Bible has been used as evidence that homosexuality is wrong. In Leviticus 20:13, it states, "If a man also lies with mankind, as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them." But what does the word abomination really mean? The biblical meaning of abomination is against tradition and ritual. It does not mean innately immoral, as many believe it to mean. In fact, a lot of other things are considered abominations in the Bible, such as wearing linen and wool together and eating shrimp, rabbit, and pork. Religious scholars have noted that when reading this passage in context, one can see that the rule against homosexuality was part of a list of rules that reflect God's effort to protect the population and ensure that people continue to have healthy children. Only a man and woman can have a child. Other rules include not being with one's parent, sibling, or other close family members to prevent birth defects. From this, we can see that homosexuality is not evil, but it doesn't add to the population. When the Bible was written, this was a major concern. However, today it is not. In fact, overpopulation is more of a concern. Even though there are still Christians who use the Bible to defend their belief that homosexuality is wrong, many Christians have changed their views over time. Even Pope Francis said, "If someone is gay and he searches for the Lord and has good will, who am I to judge?" References in the Bible against homosexuality are not referring to a loving couple, so they can't be used to prove gay marriage is wrong. Jesus never even mentioned homosexuality, but he felt that it was important to love and accept everyone, so it would not make sense if he did not accept gay people.
Homosexuality is acknowledged and accepted and regarded in the church. It's not anything to be ashamed of, if you will. There are certain limitations with regard to the fact that they don't acknowledge homosexuals marrying in the church because from the biblical standpoint they can't procreate, and that's kind of a foundation that the Roman Catholic religion thrives on, that anybody who enters marriage with the idea of wanting to procreate. So 2 men or 2 women can't procreate, obviously, which kind of impedes a little bit of our movement on wanting to be acknowledged as married individuals. But as far as being a sole homosexual in the Roman Catholic Church, it is very regarded. And in fact, the Roman Catholic Church has become recently very vocal on acknowledging homosexuals not only as parishioners in a particular Roman Catholic parish, but priests as well now, who might be trying to identify themselves with a sexuality, because priests do have sexuality as well, And Pope Francis has now acknowledged that it is okay for a priest to be a homosexual or correlate themselves with, homosexual feelings that they might have. And that's a big leap in Roman Catholic history. When you're looking at probably one of the oldest denomination of faith that lives, not as old as the Jewish denomination, of course, but that's a big leap because we've been somewhat antiquated in our beliefs for some time. So we're beginning to make some steps forward in terms of how we acknowledge sexuality in the Roman Catholic Church. And that's very comforting for somebody who is a homosexual to see that there is still a home for me in this church.
Since Judaism's sacred text, the Torah, is the first testament of the Bible, Jews historically have similar views toward homosexuality as Christians, and, like Christianity, it has taken great strides toward the acceptance of all gay people. To understand more about the Jewish beliefs, I interviewed Rabbi Stacy Offner from Temple Beth Tikva.
Reformed Jewish community is up front, center, loud, clear, bold, passionate advocate of gay rights. It has changed. This has been, in the words of President Obama, an evolution. The Reformed Jewish community was not always so clear on its bold stand. It was bold for its time as the years have gone by. So, for example, the very first resolution that the North American Reformed Jewish Organization passed was in 1977. And in 1977, they passed a resolution claiming civil rights for all gay people and straight people together, that civil rights should be across the board. But they significantly did not, by any stretch, mention gay marriage or gay rabbis. They stayed away from that in 1977, and it's been a process since 1977. The major movements in America are Reform, Conservative, and Orthodox. And on a spectrum, we would say that the Reform movement is the most liberal, then Conservative, and then Orthodox. So when it comes to gay people and recognizing rights for gay people, the Reform movement has been the boldest. The conservative movement, nevertheless, has made some significant changes along the way. And the conservative movement, interestingly enough, I'm actually really excited about what the conservative movement has done, because it decided that it wanted to have a ceremony for gay people to be able to unite their lives. Even the Orthodox movement has been affected by the cultural backdrop in this country of more rights for gay people. The gay movement, I think, has been as successful as it's been in such a short period of time. Sadly, not the same experience for African Americans or for race relations in this country, is because gay people are literally everywhere, in every class, in every religion, in every street corner, in every family. And so once gay people started, I think with Stonewall, to have the courage and the gumption to say, this is who I am, friends and relatives needed to reckon with that and wrestle with that and ultimately learn that people are people.
In contrast to Christianity and Judaism, the views of Islam have not evolved in the same way. Although Allah only looks to see if the human heart is full of love and light, most Muslims believe homosexuality is sinful. While it is fairly easy to see positive changes within the Christian and Jewish faiths, It is much harder to find examples of changing views of gay rights within the Islamic faith.
The Quran tells us that our Lord has created us from male and female, and He has made for us spouses from the opposite gender, so that we may live in peace and in harmony and find love and comfort in them. And so the man finds comfort and love in the woman, and the woman finds comfort and love in her husband. And within the confines of marriage, that is a part and parcel of human society. When the family is safe and sound, society is safe and sound. We firmly believe the family is the building block of society. Therefore, anything that harms the family, it harms society. What if somebody says, this is an urge in me, I can't help it? No, you can help it. The urge might be beyond your control, but then you can cater to it by blocking it or by channeling it in a permissible manner. One of these two things has to be done.
Nevertheless, there are some Muslims who are very accepting of gay people and believe Allah will not judge them.
Love is everything, we say. Love is the cause of the origin of the universe, of existence itself. And it's expressed by saying that God had a longing, and this longing to be known. And so out of that innate longing came forth creation. So love is the origin of everything, and everything is really in a state of love. So Sufism is to help make this clear to us, what our great place is in the drama of love.
In Buddhism, they do not have the Abrahamic tradition of believing in Adam and Eve, so they don't have this first male-female relationship to provide the basis for their beliefs. Buddhists do say that one must not engage in sexual misconduct. The term sexual misconduct has been interpreted as acting in a coercive or disrespectful way toward another person. All actions are evaluated based on the expression of love, respect, loyalty, and warmth. Thus, heterosexual and homosexual relationships are evaluated on the same terms in Buddhism.
It's always emphasize importance of how you choose your life, or how do you live your life, and if that's happen to be the style of life, as long as you choose and then you be responsible of everything, then that's totally fine.
One could say that attitudes are evolving from traditional or conservative to more accepting and open, but another way to look at these changes is that we are coming full circle. The most ancient religions, such as Greek and Roman mythology, as well as the beliefs of native people around the world, have many examples of gay relationships.
The examination of sexuality, homosexuality, and gender can be found within the mythologies of most religions and cultures throughout the world's history. We find, for instance, the spirits of voodoo, including Baron Samedi, often depicted as bisexual or transgender, as well as Erzuli Frida, known to be a protector of gay men, and Erzuli Danter being a patron of lesbians. The Maya have Popepili, considered to be a patron saint of homosexuals. In Africa, the Dahomey tribe have Malolisa, who is their creator deity and is both male and female. In China, Taoists have the tale of the rabbit god, about a man who fell in love with an imperial inspector, but when his infatuation was exposed, he was sentenced to death by beating. But since his crime was that of love, officials of the underworld appointed him the rabbit god and patron saint of same-sex relationships. And in Australia, the Aboriginals share a similar myth of the rainbow serpent deity, expressed as being transgender. In Hawaiian mythology, the powerful goddess of fire, Pele, has a sexual affair with a Hawaiian chiefess who desperately searches far and wide for Pele after Pele leaves her behind. It is telling that while it is easy to find myths that portray gay and transgender characters positively, it is nearly impossible to find ancestral myths that directly portray them in a negative light.
There is a relationship between one's view of gay rights and their religion, but I was glad to learn that religions such as Christianity and Judaism have evolved alongside the changes in our culture. I was surprised that so many ancient religions appear to accept homosexuality and even give gay individuals high status within the community. Although religion sways one's views regarding gay rights, the Bible and other religious texts should not be used in deciding whether or not gay marriage should be legal. There is a separation of church and state in the United States, meaning that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. In the Treaty of Tripoli between the United States and the Barbary Pirates from 1797, it states, "The government of the United States of America is not, in any sense, founded on the Christian religion." Religion is all about love and accepting one another, so over time, I believe that people in the LGBT community will achieve equal rights and full acceptance from people of all religions.
It's very typical to hear people say that religion is the opposite of gay rights, and and in truth, religion is a conserving kind of an element in society. But that being said, I think that this new revolution with marriage equality was absolutely because of religion. And I think that religion should take a lot of credit for the success of the marriage equality movement. A lot of ministers, a lot of priests, a lot of religious leaders speaking out for social justice. And in truth, marriage is a conserving institution. It brings stability to society, and it's something that conservative people should like. And I think that religion and religious values had a lot to do with the success of marriage equality. Today, I think that a lot of gay people are finding a home in religious institutions, finding comfort and support and validation and affirmation. And religious institutions are in the business of affirming human life with rituals, all sorts of rituals. And for gay people who have been denied these rituals forever, not just marriage, but being acknowledged as whole people throughout their lives, whatever they experience, I find that religion is such an important way that we can reach out to people who feel broken or hurt and help heal them.
I don't believe God makes mistakes. I don't think the world is created in vain. I believe that God created a diversity in the human experience, in the animal kingdom, in the natural world, which is profound.
We're all on the spectrum, and there's that denial of the spectrum, and it's so refreshing just to think like, oh right, well, of course we're all on the spectrum. How could we only be one thing?
When I heard that we finally had an openly gay bishop in the Episcopal Church, I cried. I literally cried. It was a sign of hope to me, and we don't get many. So when old Gene came down the aisle wearing all that stuff, I said, "You go, boy, you go, because you are a symbol now, not just to me, but to all of the country, that gays are good and that God loves us as we are."
I can't, from the life of me, imagine that God would say, "I am going to punish you because you are black. You should have been white. I will punish you because you are a woman. You should have been a man. I punish you because you are homosexual. You ought to have been heterosexual." I can't for the life of me believe that that is how God sees things.